Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Join me and my co-host, Joseph.
Yellow.
Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And Jay Hugh.
Darth Maul!
Nice.
All right.
Dug it. We are here to talk about the infamous Star Wars prequel films in anticipation for the last Skywalker saga film to debut this week.
Yep.
Rise of Skywalker.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Kathleen Kennedy did say there's the possibility of these characters showing up again in the future this week.
Well, and I mean, also, episode 3 was the end of the Skywalker saga too.
I mean,
at least for a couple years.
To be fair, Lucas said like a bazillion years ago, 9.
Yeah, but then he said, I never said that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I guess we're going to start with episode 1.
I was going to, before we get into it, I do feel like we need to set the stage a little bit. As you mentioned at the beginning, the prequels are kind of a contentious subject.
Yes.
They were very much anticipated, and then...
they did this weird thing where they were pretty much exclusively accepted for about 13 hours. And then they were exclusively hated.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I'm older than you guys.
And that's kind of what I was hoping. I was hoping you could could help provide a little context to like where Star Wars was when we came into the prequels.
Because I think I'm about 10 years older than you guys, so I was like, at least legally a man when I saw these, and you guys were probably still kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, just going into it, what did you guys think they were going to be? Did you even have an opinion, or were you so young that you didn't think of what movies were going to be? You were just like, oh, I'm going to go see a movie. And it's going to be awesome.
For 1 and 2 specifically, I remember like just being a kid and just going in knowing nothing else about anything.
Same,
and it was completely fresh.
Just like, it's Star Wars. I'm going to go see Star Wars.
Yeah. I knew nothing. The third one, I think I knew a bit at that point.
I was probably 11 when Phantom Menace came out, so I was pretty young. And again, Attack of the Clones too, you're right. I was like 13, and then I just wanted to see fucking Star Wars.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, by Revenge of the Sith, I think I kind of matured a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so how long after watching it did you think, oh, maybe that wasn't so great?
Honestly, I love Force Awakens as a kid, and I watched it like
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace and I watched it like 3 times. Like my uncle took me. Like I went with my parents. Like I love that movie. I don't think I ever really loved I can see where people have criticisms, like Jar Jar and certain things, but as a kid in that mindset with those rosy glasses on, I loved that.
I like that you look at me when you say the word criticism.
It's pretty synonymous with it.
But I have probably a similar experience in that I was pretty young when I watched 1 and 2, and I watched them a lot. Like I had them on DVD; they were on repeat.
Right.
And then by episode 3, even before it even came out, I can't decide if I had decided I didn't like them or if I had just realized that other people had decided they didn't like them. So it was like, I don't like them either.
Yep.
So I definitely know, even going into the third one, I had opinions.
Because definitely I was old enough that I stood in line all day and shit, and I saw it at midnight, felt fucking miserable going into it. But as soon as that trumpet hit, I was fucking on board.
And what did you think of 1?
I liked it after seeing it. I thought it was long. I thought that Jar Jar could get annoying. But even at the time, I can remember thinking, okay, but if I was an adult watching it for the first time, I also probably would have thought C-3PO was annoying.
Can I pause this for a second?
Right.
This conversation brings up a really special memory of us watching Fanboys in the theater, which feels very similar to talking about episode 1 right now.
Yep.
And I can remember everybody kind of liking it for a while afterwards. I can even remember getting it on VHS and having a couple friends over to watch it. And
it did amazing box office. Everyone saw it.
All 3 did.
Yeah. But specifically, I remember 1 being an event film. People took their kids out of school. I think my dad took me out of school opening day.
I do think having it on VHS or at that point, maybe even some people had it on DVD, was when the cracks started to show, when people would start to watch it over and over and over. It's like, man, Jar Jar is pretty stupid. Man, they sure talk a lot in this movie, that sort of shit. But I don't think it was hated at the time. I don't think it was well reviewed, but I don't remember it being hated when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ahmad Best remembers it being hated when it came out.
Right.
But yeah, we weren't in that position. You talk about when did the crack start to show. I think, honestly, one of the first times I ever questioned whether or not I liked something or not was after Attack of the Clones. and the Yoda Dooku fight. I remember Yoda lighting up his lightsaber and the whole fucking theater going berserk.
That was one of my favorite moments sitting in a movie theater ever.
As soon as the credits rolled, I thought, I didn't really want to see Yoda fight anybody. Like, I was okay with him not doing that.
I think it was one of those things, and maybe this is one of those things for like, but all those years, like me and friends have speculated, it's like, well, obviously Yoda can't use a lightsaber because he's too short, so he must use like force pushing and lightning bolts and stuff like that. So, and you get that little nudge in the beginning that, Yoda's the best at lightsabers. Like, well, we won't see that. They can't show that.
Yeah.
And then when he lights that shit up, that was Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out in 1998.
Yep.
That was
That's how it was for
that
me
was
too.
everybody
I was
screaming.
about to say, this is as you like to say, you are a fan and you like being service.
Right.
And that's exactly what this is.
100% of fan service.
Yeah.
I love that moment.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to try to save talking about
well,
that
so
until we got
so-
to episode.
so
Let's
let-
try to keep these in order.
yeah, I want to start episode 1, and I kind of just want to like walk through the plot and see if we can hit like waypoints on thoughts on it. So we start with episode 1. How far before the original series is it supposed to be
man.
set? Do we know?
I think there's some
Around
timeline.
30 years.
Yeah, I feel like it's around 30 years.
Yeah.
Because it's 18 years between 3 and 4, and I want to say this is 12 years before 3. So
Right.
I would put it right around 30 years.
But we start with 2 Jedis coming onto a Trade Federation ship. One is Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, and an Obi-Wan Kenobi, familiar name from the original series, played by Ewan McGregor. Who are there to negotiate trade deals with, we'll get into the trade and the Trade Federation and all that kind of stuff. But they're there to negotiate
A blockade.
of
Naboo. And
but the Trade Federation does not want to negotiate.
it's a trap, and then they spring out of there and head to the planet and meet Jar Jar and the Gungans.
Correct. The first thing that stood out with me in the because I actually like the opening sequence a lot. I think it's a cool way to like establish where you are. Like it's a lot of new space. But there's a part where they get attacked by the droidicas, and the droidicas bother me because I don't understand why there's a force field that lightsabers can't go through, but that's a whole separate thing. But there's a bit when they're running away from the droidicas where there's like this weird force sprint thing where they just go like left of screen that is not used anywhere else in the series.
Yeah, they never used it.
It looked very like Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
It was very silly. But yeah, so they go from the Trade Federation down to they are presumed dead and escape down to Naboo, where they meet most infamous probably character in Star Wars history, Jar Jar Binks, played by Ahmad Best.
Yep.
What do you guys feel about Jar Jar?
I watched this again in the last week. He's not that annoying to me.
I
I kind of like him.
I think if there was 5 minutes less Jar Jar, it would change the whole thing.
I agree
There's
with
just
that.
a lot of it.
Yes.
It's a little too much.
But
Some of it works.
But I really don't think if you're like a 6-year-old, he's any more annoying or he's any less cool than C-3PO was to a 6-year-old in like 1977.
he was trying something
I
different.
mean, look, if
if
you told me if I had to, I could get rid of Jar Jar or the Trade Federation. Fuck the Trade Federation. I'll keep Jar Jar.
Right.
I thought you were going to say 3PO, and I would have still agreed with
Yeah,
you.
I know. Yeah,
Jar Jar is not that bad. I agree with you. It's too much. If you could even just take out the stupid bit where he gets numbed by the pod racer.
That's the scene. That's
You
the
take
dumbest
that
one.
out, it's probably not that big of a deal. And he does lead you to Boss Nass, which is my favorite character in
you know,
Phantom Menace.
my only problem with the boss. So the boss Nash is like the leader of the
planet.
There's a lot of CGI spit in this movie
Yeah,
that I
a
wasn't
lot.
expecting.
but I
spittle.
think it holds up pretty good for when did this come out?
I want to say 99 or 01.
I mean,
yeah, I want to say
The
01.
CGI Jar Jar is completely green screened in there, and he looks relatively good.
In general,
It's 99 because it's right before the main.
Like the
That's what I thought,
underwater through the planet.
Yeah.
It's completely CGI,
Yeah.
and I think it holds up. I really liked it.
I am really confused why going through the planet's core was supposed to be so dangerous, because it didn't really
Some
seem
big
like that.
ass fish in
It
there.
didn't
Yeah.
seem like that much of a problem for them. They didn't really ever feel like that in that much danger.
It felt Star Wars though. Like that scene felt Star Wars to me.
I think I would say of the 3 prequel movies, the closest to the original Star Wars trilogy is Phantom Menace. I think it's fun. It has problems. I'm not going to, say it doesn't, but it is the closest to that tone that I think the original 3 films
And I think
have.
the biggest difference is it is one that is specifically, I mean, kind of almost like Return, but it's like more clearly aiming towards a younger demographic. And I think that
more than any movie he's done. There's a lot of bordering on potty humor in it.
Yeah, there's a yippee.
There's a yippee. You know,
I don't hate the yippee.
I think George Lucas thought, hey man, I got 1 million 5-year-olds on board with an 18-year-old. What could I do with a fucking 10-year-old? And you know,
So yeah, the two Jedi make it to Naboo where they meet. Well, they kind of meet Queen Amidala. So am I correct? Is the other Queen Amidala the double Keira Knightley?
Yep.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Rose Byrne and Keira Knightley.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Rose Byrne's the one in Attack of the Clones.
How have all these motherfuckers what a weird collection of people that all made it, you know?
Okay, again, as younger viewers, was it surprising at all when Padme turns out to be the...
No, what's surprising is the same fucking name. That's surprising to me.
Well, this is the thing with me. I knew going in that she was the queen. There was action figures and shit that said it. So it was confusing when she revealed herself to be the queen because I was like, I thought you were the queen the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't even think they do a very good job of identifying her as she's the handmaid.
Well, and that's what I was trying to
It just seems like she has different outfits.
The queen twist is, in my opinion, the worst part of the movie.
It's the dumbest part of it.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it is.
That's a take.
also,
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the plot really hinges on it the last 30 minutes of the movie. And
what do you think of her accent that she uses?
Well,
what
yeah,
is that supposed to
So
be?
there's supposed to be I think it's this flat affectation when she's in her queen voice.
Right.
So that I think it's supposed to be so that it's easier for each one to
disguise.
impersonate each other.
It reminds me,
Because I was thinking about that also.
there's an Eddie Murphy bit in the 80s that I'm canceled for even bringing up, but where the premise is that he goes to Africa to find a woman who doesn't know he's rich to marry. And her imitation sounds just like Eddie Murphy's racist imitation of a lady from the jungle, which I know it's hard for Eddie Murphy to be racist since he's a black dude, but that's still, you know, I never understood that accent and what it was trying to accomplish.
My other biggest problem with the Padme thing is something that we've really it's alluded to in the first one and is explained a little bit more in the second one, is that the queens, which is a weird title, but the queens are elected on Naboo.
Right.
Why would you elect a fucking child? And in the second one, she said she wasn't even the youngest elected.
Right.
What's wrong with these fucking people?
That is a weird
George
society.
Lucas really likes to introduce really young characters and then establish you're not young enough to do this.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing he does multiple times in these movies.
I think she's supposed to be 14.
Right.
Is her age in this. And they don't tell you
She's
that.
the wisest person to
It's
run.
kind of good that they tiptoed around that, maybe.
It's nonsense. Anyway, the Jedi and Padme and
They escape.
other people escape, but have to
Get
land.
damaged.
Yeah, they're damaged and have to land on Tatooine
The old planet.
to repair
That
their
old
hyperspace
dust
drive or
bucket.
something. Yeah.
We don't actually know where they land, and did they ever specify where they go to? Do we always assume it's Mos Eisley?
It's not Mos Eisley because
Yeah.
in the next movie they talk about Mos Eisley in a different place.
But then they meet little Anakin and what's the guy that
Greedo?
Watto.
No, Watto.
Watto.
Yeah.
Greedo's-
So Greedo was supposed to be in one of these. It doesn't matter.
Watto's great.
They're always trying to put Greedo in random
We also
scenes.
meet my favorite character from episode 1, Sabalba.
Oh
I
yeah,
fucking love
Sebulba's great.
Sebulba's so fucking ornery.
the evil pod racer.
Correct.
When he says "Poodoo," I really feel it. I feel poodoo.
I remember. So the premise here is they don't have enough money to get the parts they need, whatever, and so they bet it all on this precocious.
Cute as a button.
He is really cute.
Yeah. Jake Lloyd?
Yeah, Anakin Skywalker in
Nice
a
job.
pod racing, which is like dangerous NASCAR on a desert planet.
It was 1999. NASCAR was like the most watched thing on
Yeah.
TV.
It's like it's like 24-hour Le Mans sort of thing, but with little spaceships.
And the
And
pod
slaves.
races,
Yeah, it's like
the pod racers are fucking dope.
They're cool.
Yeah.
as
And
shit.
the pod
cool.
racer game on Nintendo 64
Was awesome.
Absolutely.
was fucking dope.
And
Absolutely.
It's one of those things.
I played that so much.
Yeah, me too.
It's something
hard as shit.
It's something we'll talk. It is hard as shit. Well, it's something we'll talk about more as we go on. But like pod racing is such an inventive concept to throw into this world, and there's a lot of things in this movie and in some of the other ones we're going to go through that feel Star Wars, but also feel like different from the other Star Wars. That's one of the things that I really appreciated the second time around is how many like how many much new territory he goes into.
He had a lot of ideas.
Not everything hits as well as I think he wanted to, or as much as the original. But pod racing's great, and a lot of other things that he comes up with are great.
And it does feel Star Wars. This whole movie feels Star Wars to me.
I will say also as a kid, I remember even like as a child, I was like, Jabba the Hutt's kind of, you're thrown in here. But now as an adult, understanding the space politics, it's like, oh no, Jabba should be here. He's in charge of this fucking planet.
Right. He's in charge of gambling, and a lot of people are betting on this.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pick this up. We have 2 more movies to get
through.
through.
No, it's not.
Only halfway through the first one.
We can't go faster.
Can we just go faster through the plot?
No!
At this point, we're also introduced into Darth Maul.
Correct.
In this film.
Who is the Sith Lord?
He's the Sith Padawan. He's
I don't know. Are all Sith?
I think he's a Sith Lord.
I feel like all Sith are Sith Lords.
Yeah. But he's not the
He's
the number 2. He's the number 2.
A separate name.
My favorite ass thing about this, and I've also said this on the podcast before, is Yoda says something along the lines of, 2 there's always 2, whatever. There's always 2 Sith.
A master and apprentice.
Always more than 2.
No more, no less.
Never just 2 Sith. Because every single one has an apprentice.
That's 100% true.
It sounds good coming from Yoda, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Qui-Gon Jinn does battle in the sand with this mysterious. Is he the Phantom Menace in this?
I believe that.
Yes.
Oh no, I would say Palpatine.
I think Palpatine is too, but I feel like the prevailing feeling is that Maul is, but that doesn't make sense.
I think he's a Phantom Menace because you don't even know he's a
I think the poster made it seem like he was going to be.
Even to yes, you don't know that he's the real villain or whatever, but also he's a fucking hologram the whole time. Like he's actually a phantom.
That's true.
Yeah. That's a fair point. So our intrepid heroes narrowly escape, making their way to Coruscant, which is where they wanted to be originally. Padme's trying to fix the Trade Federation. Man, they do say treaty a lot in this fucking movie. It's outrageous.
My 100, I've said this on an episode recently, but I think this movie could be improved 100% just by cutting out most of the times they say treaty. Because even some of the other things, like they say trade blockade a lot, but at least blockade implies an action. A treaty's just a fucking piece of paper, man. No kids care about a fucking piece of paper.
And it's crazy because I feel like the plot doesn't need that element. I even understand, even if you want to keep it like, oh, they need the queen to be on Naboo for like legitimacy, like to seem like whatever, then just have her there. Why does she need to fucking sign a piece of, why is that the most important fucking thing in this movie?
I tell you what is the worst / most resonating line in the entire movie to me is when the queen goes, I will not discuss this in a committee. Because I'm like, then fucking stop. Let's get past that and get out some laser swords.
The only tidbit I have here is that Coruscant is not a creation of George Lucas.
Oh, really?
Coruscant is something that Timothy Zahn made.
Interesting.
No shit.
Yep.
Right
I
on.
guess that.
Like,
I like Timothy
that
Zahn.
guy that we met and got
friend of the podcast.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Timothy Zahn. He doesn't know he was on it.
Fun thing that I didn't notice. Why would I have when I first watched it? Terrence Stamp is Chancellor Valorum, the original Chancellor, before he gets deposed. Cool for that guy. He's British and evil. He should have been in like an Empire officer or something.
I don't think the Chancellor's evil in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. He should be.
Yeah,
incompetent.
Natalie Portman kind of cuts.
We don't even know if he is incompetent.
Have you guys? I feel like I had to have told you this. Have you heard the story of his first day on set?
No.
Okay. He, really didn't know a lot about Star Wars. He knew there were popular movies, and he knew George Lucas was a respected dude. And he took the role, and these people weren't getting entire scripts. So he just knew that he was going to have scenes with Natalie Portman, which he was excited about because he thought she was a good actor. So he shows up, gets in his fucking outfit, comes out on the scene, and somebody literally tells him, talk at that broom right there. That's Natalie Portman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Broke his heart.
Am I mistaken? Isn't Terrence Stamp a villain in a Star Trek movie as well?
Is he?
In Generations, is that not him? Maybe I'm.
No, Generations.
You seem like the person who would answer that question.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I get those two.
No, that's fair. They're very similar.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know if Coruscant's that interesting. Besides the fact that it's a cool planet,
We find out that Anakin cannot be trained as a Padawan.
but he still might be the chosen one because he's got a lot of midichlorians.
Yeah, they say you
Oh
can't.
fuck! We skipped
Yeah,
midichlorians.
Yeah, that's one of the lines that does not work. They should have just left that out.
I'm gonna wait.
That's fine. Yeah, a lot of these things will come back around. So everybody goes back to Naboo to...
Which is a stupid plan. The Queen's like, all right, I can't do anything with this. I'm just going back.
Yeah, it doesn't
they don't
make
have
any
the plan.
fucking sense.
Like, the Third Federation has taken over Naboo at this point. They're going to an occupied planet with like 2 Jedi and like 6 people.
Yeah.
I'm going on a record at this point that Qui-Gon might have been a dumbass.
Yeah.
Let's get through the plot, because I have a hot take about Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, we get down to Naboo. Amidala pleads with the Gungans to join their effort. They do.
She gets on her knees. And
Man, there's
they
so
beg.
many. I mean, this whole series has so many toys things, but everything the Gungans have are cool ass toys.
Right.
So that war starts. It's supposed to be like a diversion for them to retake.
Is this after Lord of the Rings?
No.
Lord of the
Because it kind of felt Lord of the Rings.
Because the thing, I think it was more trying to be Braveheart for kids.
Yeah.
Because I really think that, talk all the shit you want to about Jar Jar. If you don't have Jar Jar, you don't get Gollum.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first time. That was the dry run for
That's a fair point. So yeah, the Jedi and Padme and Anakin go to retake the capital. The Jedi get held up with Darth Maul. Anakin gets stuck in a Starfleet thing, and then Padme are just shooting blasters at shit.
Kind of like the Return of the Jedi. Everyone kind of splits up at this point, and there's a few separate stories going on.
And Duel of the Fates starts playing, and that shit's fucking dumb.
The best Star Wars song, universally.
The theme is the best Star Wars song.
The best one that's not the theme or the Darth Vader march.
Yeah, you have I would go. It's the theme, Imperial March, Duel of the Fates. My hot take would be Rey's theme is the next best.
Oh Jesus, that is a hot take.
Yeah, Rey's theme is great.
I do not like it.
I'm with Christian Jones on this.
Yeah.
Lawrence, you guys are too
That's a whole. I would love to do that episode, but we'll get to that episode another time.
So there's a lightsaber fight.
Anakin destroys the Trade Federation. It ends exactly like A New Hope.
Yeah, Anakin gets in a ship and
there's
does
fucking
the space
medals.
Thing. Yeah.
So what's your hot take about Qui-Gon?
Qui-Gon should have died on Tatooine. I think if Qui-Gon dies on Tatooine and the whole fucking bit about train Anakin and all that, if all that happens on Coruscant and then the rest of the movie, Anakin is Obi-Wan's Padawan, I think that helps fix a lot of the convoluted nature of that back half of the movie.
You're right about that.
You're not entirely wrong. Yeah.
I think also it would have been a better death if Obi-Wan could have dealt with the death and then
come back.
Darth.
Yeah.
I would also say the coincidental Anakin ending up in a ship and having to blow. I think all that's stupid. If you
Qui-Gon tells him to stay in the ship.
Yes.
That's a terrible place to say.
but as we've learned anyway through the Clone Wars, like it's very common for a Jedi to be like, tell your Padawan to go do some dangerous shit you're probably going to die doing. So if Obi-Wan were to do that to Anakin, and we know that's kind of the norm, like it doesn't seem so coincidental and ridiculous.
So the only thing that would ruin is
the best sword fight.
Well, the best sword fight, and also the hallway with the fucking force field, which is great. I love that shit.
It serves no practical purpose.
No.
It's a waste of 3 minutes.
But it
looks cool.
Well, honestly, my favorite part of that entire movie is that little redneck jump, run jump that Ewan McGregor does right before it opens up. Man, it's so like soccer hooligan. I just fucking love it.
That's the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars to me.
What do you guys in general think of the performances in this, the acting in this?
I think in general it's better than the other two.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my feelings on this. Because me and Sarah always talk about why is Natalie Portman, who's a good actress, so bad in this?
Yeah.
And I think, just today, I think it dawned on me. Like I talked about earlier, everybody wasn't getting complete scripts. So they had lines to say, but they didn't know what they meant in context. So someone like Ewan McGregor, who grew up and loved Star Wars, even though he didn't know, he could put it together and make a performance out of that, where she was just saying shit.
See, I also don't agree with that entirely, because I feel like the way that she's saying lines is the way that George Lucas likes people to say lines.
I mean, that's true too, but
I feel like she might just be following direction.
Yeah.
So
I think Liam Neeson's great, though.
I've told you guys my 2 degrees of separation from Ewan McGregor's story, right?
Yeah, I don't know that you have.
Okay, so, I have a much more successful friend than me named Gus. He's a tour manager for bands. He's done, the Foo Fighters, 9 Inch Nails. He currently is actually Blink-182's manager, just their manager. But at this point, he was, this was while I think he was with the Foo Fighters in the 90s while they were still kind of coming up. And he was in a bar with Ewan McGregor, who was still just that guy from fucking Train Spotting, but he had filmed Phantom Menace. So he's talking to each other and he's talking about how much he loves Star Wars, and Ewan is talking about it. And this story might be publicized, but I still tell it as a personal story because I heard it before it was publicized. Which is that, when they were filming the lightsaber fights, he thought he was doing this bang up job. He had trained for it. He was being super physical and stuff like that. And they call cut, and George Lucas just looks fucking disgusted. And he gets him over and he takes him aside and he's like, you don't have to make the noise. we add that in post.
He was just going.
Yeah.
Which, to be
So
fair,
I think that's fucking great. That's why I'll always be on Team Ewan McGregor.
which, to be fair, if you've ever seen him do that in an interview, the lightsaber sounds, he does them really well.
Ewan's the strength of these movies.
For sure.
Across all three of them.
Qui-Gon's good, though. I know you're not big on Liam Neeson, but this is a good role for Liam Neeson.
This is a good role for Liam Neeson.
This is before Taken, when he became like a character of himself.
Right. Well, and I can remember hearing interviews with him before it, and he was very into his performance in this. He was like, I know I'm going to do movies that I feel are most important, but this is going to be the thing I'm remembered for, so I need to make sure it's good.
His interactions with Jake Lloyd are good.
I think he's just good in general. Good guys win at the end. That's the end of this movie. How do we feel like it ranks comparatively to Transformers? Michael Bay's Transformers, the most mediocre
I'm going
movie
better
ever
than
made.
Transformers.
I'm also going better than Transformers.
I do think this movie gets crapped on more than it needs to.
Yeah, definitely better than Transformers.
It could stand to be 20 minutes shorter. There's some pretty wooden acting in it, but there's also some really good action, and it's a fun kids movie.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly, like you said, like 5 minutes less of Jar Jar, which is realistically probably like 2 minutes less of Jar Jar screen time, and a couple less treaties. This is a pretty good movie.
I think,
really do like this movie.
I think one of the weaknesses is that it's definitely the one that's most kid friendly,
Right.
But it has such convoluted things that kids don't understand. Like
That
trees
is
and
true.
trade
That's true.
barriers.
There's stuff in it that's just straight up kid kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you remove, again, you take out a little bit less Jar Jar, which maybe it appeals to a little bit older people, you take out some of the fucking shit on Coruscant.
and that's one of the things that I like about the later movies is that the motives are like the reasons people are going in to do things make a lot more sense to me. They're much more
simpler.
clear.
Yeah.
So that's a good lead into episode 2.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, where we time jump, 10 years?
Yeah.
We got Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi with Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, much maligned.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen.
So the opening of this movie is Padme's coming back to the capital, and her
as
ship
a senator now.
She has a senator, and her ship gets blown up, and one of her decoys gets killed. And
This is the one that's Rose Byrne.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. She's a miserable death scene. No effort put into that. But
and they get Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan to be like
Her
watch
side's like
over.
a detail.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah,
essentially.
It's the first time Anakin Skywalker's seen her since 10 years ago.
See, and this is where
Do you like that opening action scene? Because I rewatched that today, and that holds up pretty good.
No, I like
the
that.
CGI is great. Like they're jumping through. They're on Coruscant, so it's like this busy city
You're talking
planet.
about Obi-Wan and Anakin?
Yeah,
On the bounty
on the
hunter?
speeder, and
Yeah.
the whole. And then she's a changeling, so they go to a bar and they're gambling on alien sports. I don't know. It kind of like it was a good Star Warsy kind of action scene to open the movie.
And it makes Coruscant seem interesting.
Yes,
Like,
where
like,
it didn't in the first one, like you even said.
Yeah.
They track down a bounty hunter, end up getting information about a possibility location of where this guy's from, Camino.
Yep.
And they decide that Padme should be sent back to Naboo
for her own safety,
for her own good.
Yep.
Because where would you find a Nabooian?
Yep.
But on Naboo.
This is one of those things that I feel like, we got to remember that these people are alien, so their brains must work different than ours.
I mean,
and the last place that people look must be in the most obvious place.
There is a strong argument to be made that the Jedi are fucking morons in these series. I will say, so the beginning of this chase scene is there's a second assassination attempt on Padme where
slug type.
Yeah, it's
things.
like the Obi-Wan and Anakin rush in and kill it. But before that, Anakin's talking about like his feelings, and he's like growing like oh, she's like intoxicating, and Obi-Wan's like chiding him about his fucking feeling. I'm looking at Obi-Wan fucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
that
want
guy takes very good care of his hair.
I don't want that dude lecturing me on like, oh, I shouldn't be like having these feelings. Fuck you, Obi-Wan.
We learn later. That's absolutely true.
Here's a very important issue to this movie about me, because it's something I have strong opinions about. Do you guys feel that Obi-Wan has a mullet in this movie?
Yes.
Disagree. Hard disagree. That is not a mullet.
Definitely has a
That
mullet.
hair is all the same length. It's just the hair
Styled
in the back
like a mullet.
lays
It's
longer.
styled like a
so
mullet.
it's lower on your fucking head. A mullet is a choice. At some point with a mullet, you've got to choose to cut the sides and the front shorter. He had not done that. He had grown that hair out from a dude haircut and it hangs lower in the back. This is also my argument why I don't believe that Superman canonically had a mullet in the 90s. That's my hill I'll die on.
Amazingly, even with the first one with the little not Padme, but the little Padawan braid thing, I do think this is his worst hair.
See, I love it.
Hate
it's not
it.
his best. His best is episode
3 by far.
Yeah.
The braid thing was stupid.
Yeah, we never find out why that.
Yeah, we didn't need the braid thing.
I think they tell what it is in some comic books.
They're probably
jerk
true.
off.
But
The other thing about the chase scene that before we get into it is I would kill multiple people to be the Death Sticks guy. That's like if I could go back, if I got to go back in time one time to do one thing, it would be the Death Sticks guy.
and that joke works. It lands.
I love it.
Yeah.
You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
It's all I ever want.
Yeah. I would like to get through this movie because my problems start at the very beginning.
Sure. Well, okay.
Well, I feel like we can do the whole middle in that Obi-Wan finds out there's clones. There's bad romance.
Yeah,
Let's get to the end.
Well, there's some interesting things that, as far as like fixing these prequels, that I think are noteworthy. The first thing is, from the very beginning, this is also true in the first one, Ian McDermott definitely could have played not evil.
Yeah.
Oh, he's evil.
That's an option.
I would say he's not evil. He doesn't give Palpatine in the first one is not evil until he gives that really wicked grin at the end after he becomes.
This one's the first one that he's really evil.
He's bad.
Yeah, is there a twist there? Because like when I'm rewatching it, are we supposed to just know that he's also the Emperor, or is that supposed to be a twist?
And that's my point. Is I
can't tell he's playing it.
Yeah, I think he's playing it so that we can tell. And that's
if
clearly
you knew that Ian McDermott played the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, it was never a spoiler.
It is very weird that Lucas wants these. He made these specifically so you'd watch them 1 through 6, which is a mistake. But he also gives like callbacks to the earlier ones. Yeah. Don't give callbacks if it's supposed to, because you can't understand a callback.
Correct.
But here, my solution to this: keep Ian McDermott. Everything's the same, except instead of him being like obviously evil and obviously power hungry and obviously manipulative, make him kind of this, like, I don't know, kind of a
avuncular?
Yeah, kind of avuncular, kind of a doofus, kind of just like he's well liked by everybody, he gets along with everybody, and that's how he gets the popular vote and whatever. And he's still got that evil ass devil looking dude.
Right.
Who is like whispering in his ear and telling him to do things. And so that even though like all the mechanics are still there, even though he's still the one that might be like ordering these bad things, nobody really places the suspicion on him. And he can still operate as like this likable character that's offering counsel.
He seems controlled, but
he's just a simple country lawyer.
Exactly. I think that's exactly the way that it should have been played. That plays into a later thing that I feel.
I'm not entirely sure Ian McDermott can do that.
I'm not sure that he can either. That's fair. But that's my suggestion for fixing this. So yeah, we go to Camino and meet the fucking. Actually, first we meet Dexter Jettster, who's in it for no reason, but I fucking love Dexter.
I do love Dexter Jettster. Although Dexter Jettster, certain things he says seems menacing. Yeah. I was like, are you guys friends or are you threatening him? I really don't understand.
It's a weird bit.
It's great. It's no reason.
I want to eat at that diner.
Space diner.
Yeah.
Space diner with a huge
better
fat
be at
cook
Star Wars
alien.
Land.
Oh, yeah.
We go to Camino where we meet Jango Fett.
Actually, we are skipping over one part that I think is really good. The scene where Obi-Wan goes to the Jedi school.
Yep. And
I like that
for
scene.
the map.
Obi-Wan's good in it. Yoda's good in
Where they're
it.
missing
Seeing the younglings actually learning there is like one of the things I wanted from a...
For sure, yeah.
Also important for what's going to happen.
Man,
yes, definitely.
That librarian is a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? He's like, if it's not in our records, it doesn't exist. Fuck you.
I think she went on to work for the Ministry of Magic.
I know, right?
Harry
no
Potter
joke. So yeah, we go to Kamino. We meet this clone army we weren't expecting that was commissioned by Sifo-Dyas, which is a
Master
whole
Sifo-Dyas.
unnecessary thing that I don't think should be in this movie.
Yeah.
It does get a little convoluted there.
It gets very They do a much better way of explaining that shit in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Do they?
It's in the Lost season.
Because I don't, that's the thing that I don't remember. Because we also meet Jango Fett, who is the
Archetype or whatever.
yeah,
like
whatever.
the first clone.
Well, he's not a clone. He's
I'm
what the
base.
clones are
I'm
based
so
on.
impressed
the
that you
base.
got I was trying to get Archetype in my brain, and you
I
got
could tell.
that.
I could sense these
It was
things.
really impressive. But my other weird thing about that is he says that he was recruited by Darth Tyrannus, which you find out is later Count Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
But then, is Count Dooku in on everything? Does he know all the plans? Because he doesn't seem like he does.
And
He seems surprised by the clone army. He seems surprised when Sidious is going to let him die in the third one.
Oh no, he definitely doesn't know Sidious is turning on him to kill him.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely not. You can tell he's like he wants to tell on him right then. Because I just watched that today.
And also, if he is on it from the beginning, that totally means that the Emperor had 2 fucking apprentices.
Oh, he for sure did.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Well, we don't know the exact timeline of when Maul died and when.
He for sure did.
I'm just saying, we don't know.
No, because they say that Sifo-Dyas
like-
goes to the clone planet before the
Darth Maul.
the Trade Federation thing broke out.
Yeah, there's some timeline things that don't line up.
Or do
Yeah. But in general, clone shit's cool. I liked the concept of the
I
clone
liked
army.
this planet. It was
Kamino's cool.
We knew we had to have it because it's a word dumpy thing in
Yeah,
A
yeah.
New Hope that.
But I don't know. It's fun. It's also fun that in this movie, they turned what was the faceless villain in the first one into they're on the good guy side. It's still kind of
Well, they fly Star Destroyers and they have
Yeah.
clone troopers are the precursor to stormtroopers.
This is one of the places where I think Lucas tried to play with your expectations, and it actually worked.
Yeah.
It was what the clones were and how they played into it were completely different with what I thought going into it, and I thought that was actually good.
Yeah, I did too. I like the way the whole clone thing plays out, and then he fights Jango Fett. And
Which is
Jango Fett
fine.
escapes. Yeah,
A little underwhelming, if I'm being honest.
it's not bad.
It could have been cooler.
I mean, it definitely just seems like Obi-Wan should have wiped the
We're
floor with
focusing
him.
on the better parts of the middle of the movie.
Well, yeah, no, I do. I'm going to switch back. Let's go to Naboo, where we join Anakin and Padme. We may just want to talk about Hayden Christensen as a whole. My personal opinion is Hayden Christensen also can only deliver lines the way that George Lucas wants people to deliver lines. So in that way, he's perfect for that role. But this whole time, I was just imagining Adam Driver delivering the same shitty writing so much better.
I can remember. I'm sure everybody's came to this. My buddy Zach, with the first person, said to me, "He's like, God damn, it's too bad Adam Driver wasn't a fucking thing when these."
Yeah.
He's
when
better
these
Anakin.
Those 2 actors just have less chemistry than any 2 actors on screen ever. They make John and Danny look like Bogey and McCall. They're like magnets that push each other away.
I'm with you. I think the both of them did exactly what they were told to do.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work.
I mean, he was going for something. The frolicking picnic on
think-
Naboo. It just doesn't land.
I'll get it in the third one, but
He wanted
the
this to
third
be
one's
his
where I
romance.
think it's more of a chemistry thing. And all.
yeah,
The-
he
the
wanted
sh-
this to be his romance.
The
movie.
shit that I didn't remember anyway, because as a kid I was like, fuck these scenes, let's get to the cool stuff, is I remember it feeling really rapey at the beginning,
does,
from the
yeah.
moment he gets assigned to, following Naboo. I remembered the after,
Anakin, don't look at me that way.
right, I remember the after bit where they're frolicking in the meadow and having a good time, and in my brain there was at least a mini montage where there's an in-between where she's warming up to
He
him.
goes
and
right
he's
to the fireplace scene.
There's no warming up. There's the fucking sand speech, and then he fucking kisses her, and she's into it. It's fucking weird as fuck.
I tell you what, and this is the part of these movies I'll bag on the most, is this romance. But at the same time, I get pissed when people bag on it, because anybody who was down for a fucking Twilight movie, this is as good as any romance in those shitty movies.
It is.
The like I said, I had a hot take for how to fix the first one. My hot take to fix this one is I think the romance should be in there. I don't think Anakin should be a Padawan. I think if Anakin's a Jedi Master who's devoted to the Jedi Code or whatever, who then is assigned a detail to her, and now he's torn between it.
Right.
He's not this childlike obsession crush.
Yeah.
but now he's spending time with her on this mission and he's like developing a relationship. I think it helps justify it more, and I think it helps make his turn to the dark side make more sense.
No, for sure.
No, he is definitely, he's not torn at all. As soon as he sees her, he's like, boner time, that's what I'm going to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just on an outside perspective, she seems very capable. What does she see in him?
Yeah.
Maybe to her this was just like an extended booty call that what got out of hand. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. They go to Tatooine because they get a...
He has a force vision.
He has a force vision of his mother.
Yep.
Being attacked by Tusken Raiders.
Correct.
They go to Tatooine where we meet Uncle Owen for the first time.
And fucking...
Joel Edgerton?
Yeah, Joel Edgerton.
Who is a little baby in this.
Yeah.
Like 5 seconds after episode 3, he aged 40 years. But in this, he's a tiny little baby.
Yep. Anakin kills a bunch of sand people.
Yep.
Even the children.
Even the children.
Look, you know what?
He gets a taste for it.
women.
He gets a taste for childbirth.
Look, I'm here to bag on Hayden Christensen all day. I genuinely think that's his best scene. Is
Women and the children too.
That's the one.
But it does.
I genuinely think that's his
realized
best scene.
He kills the younglings in the Jedi Temple, so you're right. He did kind
He
of
got
do
a
it
taste
in
for
number 2.
He did
I
it
like
once
that.
and he realized, I like that. I like murdering little kids.
This is easier.
I'm a serial killer.
It's at this point they get a distress signal from Obi-Wan Kenobi, who has limped through his fight with Jango Fett.
There is a hard cut from Tatooine to Geonosis that should have been more like there should have been another establishing shot because desert planet to desert planet is confusing.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's red dirt versus yellow dirt.
Yeah.
Kind of has a lava vibe to me.
What do you guys think of Christopher Lee in this?
Look, I get what he was going for. I know what George Lucas was thinking when he did it. He's just too old.
I hate Dooku.
See, I think he feels too old in the third one, but I think it works in this one, and I think he has experience with. Well, this is bad dialogue, but I'm going to deliver it like it's not.
He does do a good job with it. But
I think my hot take on how to fix this one is, and the first one, keep Darth Maul alive.
Even if you don't do
have him get away and don't even put Dooku in it, just continue Maul as the apprentice.
Maul and Grievous are both more interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Than
I think
give Maul some
the thing is
lines
with
and
Maul,
establish
though,
him.
You had to let Obi-Wan kill him to establish
Agreed.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean,
If you kept him to
could
the third one, then Anakin
cut
has to
the
kill him.
hand. They always cut the hand in Star Wars.
You do cut a hand. Anakin gets his hand cut in this one.
No, I mean, no, you could have cut Maul's hand in the first one, and he would have gotten away.
Why?
Just to get him away, for killing Qui-Gon.
It also does a really great job of establishing a relationship that, while we don't see a lot in the movies, continues on between Maul and Obi-Wan in really great ways in different medium.
Right.
Which all of this leading to the Battle of Geonosis. Also, the first time R2-D2 apparently can kick ass.
Well, yeah, he literally takes out several battle droids by himself. But how do we feel about the assembly line scene? I understand. Like, I want to
The
break this up.
R2-D2 C-3PO action scene.
Well, because it's both. There's that scene. It's concurrent, but there's that scene and there's the Padme Anakin action scene. I actually like the Padme Anakin bit of it. I just hate C-3PO.
It
3PO is
reminded me of
terrible.
Frogger.
Yeah,
The thing is, I am pretty on board when Star Wars is dumb. I actually insist that it's dumb, but this shit was too dumb for me.
Yeah.
It didn't. The CGI didn't hold up. For
I
the
thought it
theater.
was
The
a fun.
CGI did not. hold
No,
up.
no.
It looks bad.
I thought it was a fun set piece.
It looks like it's from a 1998 episode of Buffy the Vampire
Yeah, that was
Slayer.
my
It's
thing.
bad.
It seems like it's supposed to be in a shitty video game I never played.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair. It does seem like that. So that brings us to the big battle on Geonosis, which, it seems like they could have just held out a few more seconds before, showing their Jedi card. So to give Yoda a little bit more time, because it seemed like they lost a lot of Jedi really fast before the clone troopers got there.
Right.
My favorite part of this bit, and I'm not a huge proponent. I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. But you see Plo Koon kick ass, and I like that guy. I want more of that.
I like.
dude.
I like the bit where they're like chained to the fucking poles and trying to just avoid getting killed by the monsters. I like the lightsaber fight. I like it when the clone troopers get there.
Yeah.
Django goes out like a bitch.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's
this
cool
is
that
great.
Samuel gets a good big moment there.
I will
Yeah.
say it still bothers me that whenever, maybe this is just a scene that we don't see, but it feels like when Boba goes to pick up the helmet, he's just going there the first time. It seems like the head
There
should
should
fall
be a
out.
head in there. Yeah.
Totally, absolutely.
This is the first time we see Mace Windu draw a sword.
Correct.
I remember
The
that
purple
being
lightsaber.
a big deal, like as a kid.
The
And
purple
I was
lightsaber is
totally-
dope as shit. Did he make that happen? Or-
Yeah, he asked if
he asked.
his
That's
could be
amazing.
purple.
Yeah.
Great
and,
choice.
And George Lucas, who doesn't listen to anybody for whatever reason, listened to that.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to Samuel L. Jackson.
And it's in an outdoor coliseum, and it's like Gladiator.
Yeah.
in space.
This movie then turns pretty quickly while the battle's going on. Count Dooku escapes.
Yep.
Kicks the shit out of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, just beats the holy shit, which I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Which is when we get the famous, as we talked about earlier, Yoda lightsaber fight.
Yep.
This movie kind of ends like Empire Strikes Back, where the dark side pretty much wins. He gets away. We know. Oh,
Well, they have
also,
the clone troops.
First glimpse of the Death Star.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
Attack on the Clones.
So, Christian, from listening to the earlier one today, you didn't like the Yoda lightsaber.
I don't.
In that. You don't like? See, I love it.
I don't like it either.
I fucking love it.
I love that.
I like that Yoda is a character that doesn't have. It has nothing to do that he didn't need, that he couldn't. It's that he didn't have to do
Right.
that. He never, in all the training you see with Luke, never once fucking talks about a lightsaber. And again, it's not that I ever assumed that he didn't have one. It's that I have excelled past that.
Right.
And I feel like it diluted who Yoda was to me in that instance.
I agree.
See, all I thought is that shit looks
cool.
I love an
I hate
80-year-old
that fight
man.
style too.
because
I
yeah,
love an 80-year-old man fighting a computer.
because
Muppet.
it also sets up the fight in Episode 3, which is the worst fight.
And that's what I don't understand. Is this the elite level of lightsaber fighting? Backflips?
yeah, I know.
Because Palpatine does it too.
I love the backflips. I'm
Yeah,
going on
I
record
do
that I
too.
love the Revenge of the Sith Darth fight in the
Oh my
Senate
God.
room is fucking awesome,
Oh my
and
God.
the one in the Clone Wars
that is
fucking dope.
That is the worst fight scene in all of
no,
Star
they're
Wars.
spinning chairs.
I mean,
I love
I
a
mean, look,
spinning chair.
Me and Ian are on the exact same
Yeah,
level.
no,
That's stupid.
black flips are fucking cool.
the fights are all terrible, but kudos to Lucas. Set pieces for all the fights are pretty good.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that Rey and Adam Driver do a bunch of bucking backflips in this one.
Hard
Rise
pass.
of Skywalker, because they're going to be max level Jedi at this
See,
point.
I don't think they will because
Oh,
I don't think
I don't
they're
think
gonna
Rey
fight
will be
for a lot of this.
backflipping around, or I'm going to be.
That's
I don't think Abrams likes the prequels. I don't think he.
That's not the style that he's established.
Well,
so
in the
far,
opening
right?
scene, isn't she jumping over a fucking spaceship?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying they won't do like
A backflip.
force
No.
jumps and shit like that. I'm just saying it won't be all spinny buzzsaw shit.
See, I think it's going to go back to episode like the prequel powers.
I hope you're right. I just don't think you are.
So anyway, Episode 2 ends with the bad guys winning.
Yep.
What do you feel about it? You know what? I coming into it. This is
Negative.
This was my favorite of the three.
What?
What the fuck?
This is yeah.
Second time around, Episode 1's my favorite of the three, but this is my second favorite of the three. It's better than Transformers.
Definitely better than Transformers.
First of all, I just go ahead. Spoiler alert. I think all Star Wars movies are better than Transformers. So better than Transformers isn't really a scale for me on this. This one is the closest to Transformers, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I do like it, but it's the one that I think I could live without. Like, I know when people used to try to do their own orders, they try to leave out Phantom Menace. I say you can just leave this out and call the Clone Wars Episode 2 and then move on to Revenge of the Sith.
Better than Transformers, worse than Episode 1.
I would say
exactly.
Yeah.
before Clone Wars, I would go worse than Transformers. I think Clone Wars makes me enjoy this
That's fair.
more now.
I think
Definitely, I like that last scene where Yoda tells Obi-Wan, no, we didn't win, man. We lost.
I just think there's so many good bits to it that overpower the bad bits.
Yeah.
I think this is the most unmitigated George Lucas of all of it. I think the dialogue is bland and boring.
Oh man, we haven't even gotten to the third one.
The set pieces are what make it better for me. There's good set pieces.
They go to a million different places.
Yep.
It's fan servicey in the worst ways. It to me is a culmination of all the bad things about the prequels in one film. And again, I think there are simple things you could do to fix it. I think, and again, Clone Wars justifies this. Anakin is better with a Padawan.
What do you think about it's all Jar Jar's fault?
I mean,
the entire war
especially the first one, and a little bit in. I think is it the second one where they vote for emergency powers?
Yeah, that's this one.
That's this one.
So,
Yeah.
so 1 and 2, I think there's definitely a strong case.
I mean, definitely. I mean, he starts the war.
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Yeah. He's the one that makes the petition for the War of the Senate or whatever,
Yeah.
or Army of the Senate. So yeah, you can make an argument he's plagiarist, but
Yep.
You could probably fix the whole thing if you.
No, I don't know if anybody's claiming that he's
I'm not
plagiarist.
claiming that. I'm just saying
a
he
lot
fucked it all.
a lot of people think he's plagiarist.
If Jar Jar was a
Well, those
secret
people are
Sith,
idiots.
that could have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the argument.
That
is
could have
yeah.
worked.
Man, how good of a heel turn would that
That's
have
what I
been?
mean.
If
Imagine
he
the
just
third
suddenly
one.
started speaking in perfect syntax and
I mean, it's kind of it's
That's
kind of
what
a similar turn to what I want it to be for the Emperor. But
which, by the way, brings me to the weirdest thing about the prequels. Why does Yoda go back to speaking to broken English in the back? Because in the original movies, he only speaks the broken English when he's
like crazy.
acting like he's not Yoda. As soon as he becomes Yoda, he starts speaking perfectly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like for Yoda to speak like that. I just don't know what it was.
It's what people have associated with it.
Yep.
The whole Jar Jar thing, the thing that gave it credence was the Ahmad Best has like hinted that people are right when they suggest it.
Yeah. I'm on best just like
Look,
fuck with you.
I feel bad for that guy. I'm super happy he has a new Star Wars show coming out on Disney Plus. Good on him.
I mean, that dude.
Jar Jar has a Star Wars show?
they're doing a like you remember Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Oh yeah.
They're doing a Jedi version.
I don't know if it's just from the years of abuse, but that dude seems very comfortable with himself. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I want him to be successful because I heard he almost killed himself, and that's
Oh,
terribly
geez.
sad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. Misa not like that.
He has a pretty funny shtick he does about how Mini-Me ruined his summer because that was supposed to be his summer. He was supposed to be the thing that all the kids love. And the second Austin Powers movie came out the same, and it just ruined it.
To be fair, Austin Powers 2 is probably better than Phantom Menace.
Fat Bastard and Mini-Me.
Anyway, episode 3.
Revenge of the Sith.
I feel like this is where it's going to get the most contention.
For sure it is. It starts, pretty soon in the future. The war is in full-blown war.
Yep.
Opens with a huge space battle.
Yeah, he opens with a huge space battle. Palpatine's been kidnapped by Grievous, is being held hostage on one of the ships. Obi-Wan and Anakin are trying to save him. And, for all of his bitching about flying, Obi-Wan seems like a pretty good pilot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
flying all
saying?
the time.
Yeah, he seems fine. My least favorite part of this is when they're trying to escape and they get caught in the thing, and Obi-Wan's like, "How did we not see this coming?"
Yeah.
Like,
That is bad dialogue. I
That's
like this
terrible.
sequence, but that dialogue is
I
bad.
thought we were smarter than this. Apparently not.
Yeah.
There's some jokes there that fall flat.
Yeah.
But that opening
I mean,
shot,
none of that is "I hate sand" bad.
Yeah.
But that's pretty bad.
I thought the CGI was great when I watched it today.
Yeah,
like
no,
the
no.
opening scene where they're like flying down and there's all these different
Yeah.
spaceships on lower levels. It works.
The
for, like,
space battle's cool. I mean, like the navigating the ship. I mean, look, R2 doesn't need another action scene where he kills a super
I don't
battle
like that
droid by
part.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, R2 killing people is terrible.
There's one bit of special effects during the lightsaber scene that drove me nuts the first time I saw it, and it still drives me nuts every time I see it. When, Obi-Wan gets knocked out, and then Dooku brings that platform down on him, it does a thing where it hits
And then shifts a
and
little
then
bit.
shifts,
Yeah.
but then Obi-Wan's body moves but doesn't change. It looks
100% know
so
what you
terrible.
mean. Yeah.
Drives me nuts every fucking time.
Well, because they didn't want to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I think I'm just saying his arms or his
Yeah,
head
yeah,
should
yeah.
have shifted some of that. I think the CGI in this is so much better than the first two,
Yeah.
but that scene drives me nuts.
Yeah. This scene famously ends with Anakin killing Count Dooku.
Right.
Correct. And Palpatine being real fucking obviously evil, more
it's
than he has been.
very foreshadowing of the throne room scene in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Anakin cuts his hands off. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, is this for kids? Like, this is where it started getting a little more
Yeah,
mature.
no, cuts out a hand and then decapitates him.
Yeah.
Well, this movie is definitely the inspiration of Joker. It's how a bad guy comes to be.
Sure. I want to say, as far as things that, again, are going to feed into my theories on how to fix this, things that I feel like should have been highlighted that were already in place, is during the Count Dooku Anakin battle, it's Obi-Wan and Anakin against Dooku. And then Obi-Wan gets knocked out of it, and Anakin finishes the job himself, which they passingly reference a little bit later. But I feel like more emphasis should be placed on the fact that, like, in at least this situation, Anakin was the better Jedi than his master. Which I don't feel like they spent a lot of time on. But yeah, so they kill Dooku, get Obi-Wan.
Which, for a thing that's not the Jedi way, no one seems to give a fuck.
Nope.
Yeah,
Well, they don't think
know.
they tell. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
tell.
Well, and it seems like
You
later...
think if it was important, it would have been mentioned
Well,
in the
no, they
movie.
don't know.
No,
they don't
'cause
know
they
that he
lied
was
about
like,
it.
yeah, right. They
Dooku and
We know
Anakin.
his head got cut off.
How do we know?
He's on the ship still.
He's on the ship.
Yeah, it's true.
The ship fucking.
No, they're on a
maybe he was further back on the ship. The back part that
You
fell
guys
off.
keep trying.
That's a
to
good
justify
point.
it.
All right,
Go ahead.
All right, fair point. There is a bit that should have very clearly made it obvious that the Chancellor was a fucking Sith, where they're falling down the elevator shaft and they like.
And he does a backflip.
Well, it's essentially Anakin and Obi-Wan grab onto a ledge and pull themselves over, and Palpatine just grabs onto one of their legs and pulls himself up. I'm like, that's not a thing a 70-year-old man can do.
I thought Grievous looked good, and I think he's a cool character.
I'm so
Grievous is a cool
so frustrated that like the what's the Tarkenton guy who makes the
Ginny Tardis.
Yeah, his series prior to this was like optional watching because General Grievous is really cool and he comes into this like injured and he remains injured for the rest of the series.
What is it about those that make them non-canon? Because the last time I watched it, I didn't really see a thing.
I don't think they are non-canon.
No, I'm pretty sure they're non-canon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I didn't spot what makes them not jibe with other Clone Wars.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a cool character for sure, though.
When I watched it, because you said they explain his origin on Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
That coming out of this, I watched this today. I was like, I want to watch that Grievous episode.
Yeah.
So I need to find out which one that is.
Some people hate his Dracula voice.
One,
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I think Grievous is a cool villain. I wish we had gotten more of him. Then this movie turns into kind of an escalation to the end of the Clone Wars.
Right.
Grievous is on the run. Obi-Wan Kenobi sent after him. We find out Padme's pregnant.
And Anakin keeps having these bad visions of her dying, basically.
And so this is where I think the biggest fix could come in for this. Anakin gets appointed to the Jedi Council by the Chancellor, which is not a thing the Chancellor's supposed to do. The Council asked Anakin to spy on the Chancellor.
They won't give him the rank of Jedi Knight.
They won't give him the rank. Yeah, right. Or is it Knight or Master?
Master.
He's a knight.
He's a knight at this point, yeah.
And I feel like the biggest problem here...
And he's such a millennial, bitch. You've been a Jedi Knight for
know.
like a week, and you want to be the Master?
But that's where I feel like it comes in earlier that you could have seeded some things in here where he succeeds where Obi-Wan fails.
Where he could be justifiable in his want to
Exactly.
be.
And I think the biggest problem here is that Ian McDermott is so fucking evil this whole time, and we get to see all of it.
Right.
So when we're watching it, we're recognizing that Anakin is the dope in this. Like, he's the dunce.
Right.
Like, he's the one getting taken advantage of this whole time.
Well, that's what we find out about Darth Vader too in the sequel trilogy or
Sure.
in the original trilogy.
But it's a problem for us when we're supposed to be like respecting where he's coming from like what he thinks is happening, because we know he's being an idiot. Whereas if, again, you played it where Palpatine was a bit more of a straight guy who's like, literally just taking, like, looking out for this kid and all this kind of stuff, then genuinely...
That's what a screenwriter would have done.
All of his points make sense because he is in a weird position. He shouldn't be asked to do these things, He shouldn't be asked by the council to spy on the fucking Chancellor. There's no reason, I don't know.
I asked you guys earlier what you guys thought the prequels were going to be going into them. I had always just in my head envisioned that Anakin Skywalker was going to be like, sort of like a John Wayne badass kind of character that ends up turning on the Jedi because of things they do that he doesn't agree with, that he sort of takes too far his retaliation, which, spoiler words, is how it sort of plays out in Clone Wars. But in this, it just seems more like he's a sweaty, miney bitch.
And that's the thing. Like, I think there's like legitimate grounds to play it the way that you want to play it, but they don't go that direction.
Right.
And even when they kind of do, like, it doesn't feel right because, again, that he's getting played. So he looks stupid when he's making the arguments for why, Chancellor's not a bad guy. The Jedi shouldn't be asking me to do this. The Jedi's in the wrong here. Right. All this kind of stuff.
I think a lot of that is improved. Number one, I agree with you. Ian McDermott only plays evil the whole time. The best scene in the prequel trilogy is the Darth Plagueis the Wise opera bit. It's true. Fantastic. And he is evil as he can
ridiculous.
be.
With that...
Yeah.
Get back. Yeah, it's that is so over the top.
What the fuck is that show? Like,
it's supposed to be an opera.
What's the point?
Yeah. But I think a lot of that would be, I don't think Anakin should have any pull to the dark side. I don't think ever in the prequels, I think the kind-hearted, nice kid you meet in Phantom Menace should be the person you spend time with the whole time. That in Attack of the Clones, just like torn, angry, hateful dude, that I think that's a cop-out. Because like we're both talking about, you've put in enough in this story that his push to the dark side makes sense because of the choices the Jedi give him.
Right.
Not that he naturally feels it. Like, if that you say, his love for her is something he hasn't experienced, but it doesn't feel wrong and he's told that he shouldn't have it. Or that, you guys are putting me in this position and I'm turning against the Senate, which we're supposed to protect.
Right. We're fighting for democracy.
All of these things feel like justifiable reasons for him to do it. And then, say, hypothetically, you killed Padme earlier on and you kept him from knowing about the twins. Who would he turn to? He probably would turn to Palpatine in that moment. And so then his evolution to the dark side doesn't feel so whiny bitch like
for
you're
sure.
talking about.
And I again, even within the context of the film, I feel like there's a lot, and this is, I think, a Lucas choice to make it like Jedi good, Sith bad.
Yeah.
But there's a very obvious argument that, again, the Clone Wars series does make that the Jedi are kind of like overly stodgy and ritualistic, and disconnected from the world that they're supposed to be serving and protecting. That I think all get highlighted in this film that they don't draw attention to because they want to make sure that the good guys are the good guys and the bad guys are the bad guys. But separating the ideals from the institution, I think, would have.
Also, this feels like the first time ever George Lucas felt like he had something to say about politics. He really seemed like he wanted to say something about George Bush in this, and that's not his strong suit.
Because all three movies are about how people talking in rooms doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to put this in a committee.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Hayden Christensen does a better job in this?
I think
no.
See, I think he does.
I think he's better.
He's atrocious.
See, I think this is where I get my argument about chemistry comes from, because I think the scenes with Padme and Obi-Wan, those guys are good. Scenes with Obi-Wan and Anakin, those guys are good. Any scene with Padme and Anakin, they both just completely lose their ability to act.
Yeah.
They're just saying words.
I don't think Natalie Portman's good at any point in this movie.
In the whole series.
No, see, I think she gets awards in each movie. I think this is her
definitely.
worst
I think
performance.
she's the most like, what the fuck did I sign up?
Yeah,
for?
she realized that by this point.
Like that thing where you're going down a road I cannot follow.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that's cringeworthy. There's
to-
very few lines that are cringeworthy.
See, I don't know, man. That whole sequence to me, it's over the top for me in the best possible way. So all the bad
You
guys,
watch wrestling, fuck you.
I fucking love wrestling.
I know.
I love soap operas too. That scene is like, it calls for that sort of ridiculousness.
Basically, to get to the end here, because we're kind of sharing our opinions, but that with the Jedi spread out throughout the galaxy, Anakin realizes that Palpatine is the Sith Lord they've been hunting all along.
Yep.
Him and Mace Windu go to capture him. Things go horribly wrong.
No. I fucking love it.
Anakin quickly comes from wanting to kill him to suddenly being on his side.
Yeah.
Commence Order 66, kill all the Jedi. Anakin famously kills younglings at this point.
Yep.
And we get the final culmination battle on Jan.
Well, hang on. I was about to say, meanwhile, Yoda's on Kashyyyk to sell toys. Everything about Kashyyyk is toys.
Chewbacca.
The Kashyyyk scene does have one thing that always pisses me off when it shows up in Star Wars. I hate when wheels show up in Star Wars. There should be no wheels in Star
Grievous
Wars.
has got a cool wheel. I like Grievous.
But it's like the whole thing's a wheel. That's fine.
It's also a wheel that's got arms, which is cool. I will say for the
Mustafar, if I was playing that.
for the Kashyyyk thing, there's a bit where the clone troopers turn on Yoda, but they haven't actually done anything to him yet, and he just beheads them, and then the Wookiees are just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I think everyone's on the same page here. I was like, yeah, there should be like at
This
least
is fucked up.
An investigation committee.
Order 66.
The Order 66 sequence is probably my favorite sequence.
It's a great
in
sequence.
all of the prequels.
Yeah.
It's one of George Lucas's strongest argument for what he believes the thing should be, which was all these cool designed different planets.
Yeah.
We did skip over. Obi-Wan's got a subplot where he's tracking down General Grievous on whatever fucking planet that is. That's a cool planet.
That's a cool planet. Those aliens have a cool design.
I like his little lizard mount thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah, there was some. They just came out this past week that there was supposed to be a lightsaber battle there that was supposed to be even more complicated than the original one from Episode 1, where he fights 5 of General Grievous's guards at the same time. But it got cut, and so then he just smashes them with like an overhead lamp or something.
Oh, I remember that scene.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the General Grievous thing is cool. The arms thing is cool. How do you
Yeah.
blow a 3 lightsaber lead?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The nice callback to the original with the uncivilized thing with the blaster.
Right.
I felt like it was a little much. Like, dude,
See, I thought it was. I personally
like
don't think
that.
Star Wars can ever be too much.
Yeah.
So
It's the most Alec Guinness moment
Yeah.
of all the prequels.
all right. Also, that fight ends in fisticuffs minus the blaster. There's too much fisticuffs in this movie in
Yeah.
general. That's not where this should be going, especially against a giant metal man.
This movie definitely has the most lightsaber action of any of
Yeah.
them, and that's why I like Star Wars. That's why I do love this movie.
yeah,
Does all the dialogue work? Absolutely not. But the lightsabers, all fucking cool.
Yeah. So, this movie famously ends with a 45-minute lightsaber fight
Yes.
between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Which I fucking love.
I also fucking love fist bump Ian.
My favorite line, "You will try."
There are so many things I don't like about it.
I will do what I must.
One thing before we get too deep in this, one thing I like about this one,
We're not too deep yet.
No, when we get too deep in the lightsaber fight, I think there's some real sets in this. I think they actually build some shit in
Yeah.
there. And it makes it feel more, to me, this one feels more like Star Wars towards the end because when they're inside the ships, it looks like inside the ships in the old.
In our defense, this movie is fucking long.
It is. So Padme comes to confront Anakin, or not confront. Does she come to confront him?
Yeah.
Okay. She comes
She
to
knows
confront-
about the youngling thing.
Comes to confront
follows
Anakin.
him.
Obi-Wan stows away on board or whatever. Padme and him share the worst exchange of dialogue in human history.
It is. I just want to point out, 100% Obi-Wan's fault. Padme dies. He sneaks aboard that ship she has no idea about. The moment Anakin sees him, he starts fucking choking his wife.
That is true.
If Obi-Wan does not do those chain of events, Padme probably doesn't die.
How cool does Obi-Wan look when he's just
I
standing
know.
there?
Yeah,
what
he
the
does.
fuck is that power stance? How long had he been standing there like
And,
that?
and I don't even know how you guys can even worry about the dialogue in that scene. Because when they're sort of circling around each other, building up to the fight, that's almost as good as the fucking fight.
So good.
See, and
There's like waves of lava crashing behind
that's
him.
actually my biggest.
Mustafar is such a cool fucking plan.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with the fight sequences is that there's not enough talking. I know that's weird.
See, man,
No.
I think that's why I like them. Is that because
It's perfect.
whenever they pause for talking, it was like,
It
from
brings
my
it-
point of view, the Jedi are evil. Just shut up and swing your
I mean,
laser sword.
that's a fair point. In a world where they're good at delivering lines.
God,
Also,
that line is so terrible.
I know, that's a bad line.
the biggest
that line is definitely like, in case you don't know what I'm hitting you over the head with here.
I mean-
we're gonna say it one more time.
The biggest problem with that is anybody who believes their point of view doesn't start with "from my point of view."
Right. Like, they don't think it's the point of view; they think it's true.
Correct.
Look,
Yeah.
the final script is a rough draft that never got
For
edited.
sure.
That's what that movie is.
Well, what should have been happening there? Because for me, I get lost in that lightsaber battle because like it blends into the same thing. It's kind of like a Transformers movie. It's all kind of the same. It should be broken up into sequences where they fight a little bit, they get separated, and then they argue about things, and then they
It escalates.
right. Well,
that-
one person kind of gains the upper hand in the argument, and then they fight more, and then hands change. That's how it's supposed to work.
That is true because I think the Empire lightsaber duel is my favorite one.
Yeah.
And because of that, where they like are separated and talking to each other and tension builds. So I do agree.
That's
that
how every
100%.
superhero fight is. That's
But-
why you like them.
But
don't know.
on the other hand, I also like for 45 straight
Yeah.
minutes, people just slung lightsabers at each other.
I like that he was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do lightsaber. That's what the people
they
want.
were-
He was broken down by the public at this point. He's
Right.
like, you want lightsabers? Here you fucking go.
What I do enjoy about this bit is that 2 and 3 do a very good job of just shitting on Obi-Wan, which is Anakin says at one point in 2 he's as good with a lightsaber as Master Windu and as wise in the Force as Master Yoda. But then he's like, I've saved his life 9 times. He's a piece of shit. I'm 19. And so to actually see Obi-Wan go toe-to-toe with Anakin and then fucking win
Right.
does a good job of being like, by the way, I know we've talked a lot of shit, but he's plenty capable.
I mean,
Right.
not fully representative
Yeah, the high
of the
ground.
rest of the series that we've actually seen, to be fair.
I know, they fucked him over previously.
for sure.
The guy killed Darth Maul and then killed Anakin.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, no, the worst line in the movie.
Grievous.
We'll get to it.
Obi-Wan has all the great
Yeah,
kills.
I know. Obi-Wan's a badass. He has way more hits than Anakin did.
Yep.
So they reach an impasse. Obi-Wan jumps on the fucking land. Anakin's on a weird thing in the
Like
lava.
a robot in the lava.
And yeah, after all the Jedi shit we've seen in this movie, all of the
after
jumps
like
and
3 foot high jumps. And
I love
flips.
the robots that come by and it's like, what the fuck's going on with these dudes?
that is pretty funny. I do like.
We have the infamous. I have the high.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
And again, that's one of those things that some people hate. I fucking love that. I love his arms outpost. I have the high ground. Yeah, good.
I kind of come around on it. Obi-Wan delivers it with such gusto, it almost works.
Well, I would say it does work. He's right. He wins the fight. Like, it is justifiable when he's like, "Oh, I have the high ground. You don't want to do this," and then exactly what he says is going to happen does
What if
happen.
Anakin just knocked him down with the Force and then jumped up below? Like there
Well,
were like
I
a
think-
million other options.
See, I think that's why he doesn't go back and kill him because Anakin probably still could have done that.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe. I thought that was my part that I wrote. I was like, that's super fucked up that Obi-Wan looked. I understand he's seen him do fucked up things, but one, he's still a Jedi, and two, this was still his friend like 20 minutes
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
That he just watches him like burn alive after being like dismembered,
And that was supposed to be
and then just leaves.
Hayden Christensen's Oscar scene as he's crunching the dirt and just burning to death. He lets some hellacious moans out.
This
I am.
Hellacious Moans is a
This
great
is the
name.
thing
for
I said I
something.
was going to get back to. Lucas said this is why he introduced the midichlorians. Because he wanted it to have a reason that when Anakin loses his leg and loses another arm, that's why he's no longer so much more powerful than the other Jedis. He's just another Jedi at that point. But there's no other Jedis left. So
still sounds like
I
a
think
bullshit
it's
reason.
stupid, but I'm saying that's why he said he
That does
introduced
sound
it.
extra stupid.
Yeah.
So this movie famously ends with the Emperor building Darth Vader
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the remnants of Anakin's body. Anakin letting out a very long and loud very good impression after learning of
was a
Padme's
good
death.
And again, that's one of those things that's the line in the sand because a lot of people think that's cheesy and hate it. I fucking love
See,
it.
that CGI doesn't hold up, though. I don't know why
No,
they
yeah,
didn't
no,
just-
that
they should've
scene
done
looks
the,
terrible.
Yeah, they should have done the original suit. It looks bad. And that's when you close your trilogy.
It just
you know what I mean?
just looks super CGI-y.
Yes.
It should have been a real set.
Yeah,
Also,
it looks fake.
I do believe it's Hayden Christensen.
No, it is.
In the
Yeah,
suit.
Yeah, he's
I
in the
was
suit.
I was just telling my wife the story of what's his name.
James Earl Jones?
No, David Prowse.
David Prowse.
And how he was super expecting to come back for the prequels and did not. But yeah, and then famously Padme dies in childbirth of a broken heart. Real strong female figure.
Ooba.
Yeah.
Ooba.
I tell you what probably killed her is that she had a baby bump the size of a cantaloupe,
Yeah.
and then she passes 2 4-year-olds. Like
They're
those
big
kids
kids.
are fucking gigantic.
Those kids are big. And her husband just crushed her larynx. So,
Right.
I mean, look, yeah, this one is not great.
See,
I disagree.
I fucking love
Yeah, this movie's fucking great.
I watched this one today. I love it.
I will say I think it's the best prequel. It's still in my bottom rung of Star Wars movies. I will go better than Transformers sheerly because the Anakin Obi-Wan fight I think is a ton of fun. And even the dialogue's terrible. I like the cheesy over the top way they deliver it.
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about the 20-minute lightsaber. You know,
Oh, no, I intentionally skipped that part.
Yoda
I
and the
fucking
Emperor,
hate
which-
it.
Yeah.
See, that's also. I know me and you love that
Yeah,
one. don't
I
think
mean, that's
anybody else
fucking
does.
cool.
I think that was
again,
I think
that
that
is
I
the-
really like their build-up dialogue too. Again, just an 80-year-old man arguing with a computer muppet.
Yeah.
That's what Star Wars is all about.
Two things annoy me about the Emperor, and well, there are a lot of things that annoy me, but two particular things that annoy me about the Emperor is one, his lightsaber style is just stick it in his chest and point it straight out, and then he fights.
It's like a dick. Like, chest dick.
poking and prodding at people.
He also makes that face.
Yeah. And two, they're throwing the fucking Senate chairs at each other with the Force like they're fucking
It takes
jugglers in a
so
circus.
long, too, to be like,
But for some reason it's harder to catch or deflect it when it's spinning. What?
know.
There's no fucking rules in this universe.
It's ridiculous, but I love it. As a kid, I love that.
And
I
also
really-
because Yoda fails in this, he should fucking disappear for a bazillion years and not like the whole universe falls into despair. And you're right. That's what the last fucking Jedi should do.
Yep.
go hide in a swamp.
Yeah.
Into exile I must go.
Also, there's in the scene where they're watching the Emperor and Darth Vader are watching the construction of the thing. There's a Peter Cushing lookalike that I didn't notice the first time
cool.
around.
I honestly today I was like, is that a human or is that a mask? Like, it's like, does that guy really look like Peter?
I think that's why they kept it that broad shot, so that they didn't have to like.
One of my favorite episodes of Clone Wars is the Tarkin episode.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because I love how much Anakin and Tarkin get along.
Yeah, they just hit it off immediately, totally.
And then I don't know why the kids get split up. I don't know why one of them goes back to Tatooine. I do feel like Leia got the better deal out of it.
Yes.
Alderaan looks dope as shit.
Was it Bail Organa's decision? Because maybe I'm remembering this wrong. I just watched it, but I feel like he's like, we'll take the girl.
Yeah, he's like, we always wanted a daughter.
Yeah.
There should have been an extra scene where it was like, do you want the boy to... Yeah.
Also, do we ever in the Clone Wars, I know we see Qui-Gon's Force Ghost in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But do we ever see Obi-Wan seeing? No, because...
No, it's Yoda. Yoda's the one that's
Oh,
contacted.
that's right, yeah, because we wouldn't have seen it till Rebels.
You don't even see... I don't even think you see his Force Ghost. I think it's just narration. I think
Right.
he just
Right.
talks to Yoda. Those are cool episodes. Though.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of Revenge of the Sith?
Look, I really, really, really hate the end
This
of
is
it.
your least favorite, right?
This is my least favorite, and I hate the end of it. But the rest of it, minus the Mustafar shit, it's not that bad. And again, it's a big swing. I think the set pieces are cool. Again,
I think we found the schism on the podcast. It's the Mustafar lightsaber fight. Because I am 100% on board. It's a stone cold positive.
I watched it this morning, and I can watch it again right now.
I would say going in, I watched them all. Going in, I thought number 3 was my favorite. And coming out, number 1, I think, is probably my favorite. And then 3, and then 2. But they're all better than Transformers.
I
and
also
3
think they're all better than
fucking great.
Transformers.
But 1, I came up a lot more positive than I ever had been.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Again, I've always kind of fought for the Phantom Menace a little. I don't try to fight too hard for episode 2, although I don't think it's as bad as people put it out to be. And I straight up love the third one.
So 3 is your favorite one of the prequels?
3 is my favorite ones, then 1, and then 2.
I would agree with that ranking.
You guys are fucking wrong.
So that brings us to Ian's question.
Oh, yeah.
What is our least favorite Star Wars?
Well, we can
I'll
tie this
start.
into what we're watching, because all I've been watching is basically...
I've watched a shit ton of Star Wars too.
Yeah.
But I'm going with my least favorite. It's Attack of the Clones. It is by far, like I said earlier, it's unmitigated George Lucas.
What was your closest competitor?
Rogue One.
Me and you, same. But you were right, same, because it was because Rogue One is almost more offensive because it's close to being great.
I can tell you what's the problem with Rogue One. I can tell you the main issue. There is a moment where everyone stops talking and the music begins to swell like something really important happens and Bail Organa walks out. If that is the highlight of your movie, you don't deserve to exist.
I just think that there's too many characters they don't establish well.
100%.
They could have cut out a couple characters, and we could have got to know the ones that were left better, and it would have meant more when they all died.
Please tell me why it doesn't need to be Cassian, Jyn, and K2SO. If you would just, those 3 people, you could even say the pilot. Those 4, that's it. That's all I need.
I think you eliminate the pilot because I think everything he does, you can give to somebody else.
I'm definitely on board to eliminating. I'm saying you can make an argument to keep that guy.
But because I mean, Gun Guy and Stick Guy are the best part.
I just think it's a bad rap because they all die at the end. I think technically it's a fine movie, but I can see why people
I don't
like
mind
it.
that they all die at the end. It's just that I don't care that they all die.
Correct. Also true. Also, the worst Darth Vader bits in any Star Wars movie.
You know, and that's why.
Wait a minute. No. That end scene is fucking dope.
When he just massacres?
I think that's classic. I think that's what you want Darth Vader to be. I just don't think it's necessary for that film. I think the problem that Mustafar scene is
it's
awful.
The Mustafar scene's bad, but the end scene is not bad.
The Mustafar scene where
don't
he
choke
says,
on your
"That's
aspirations."
fucking great.
He's double puns.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
Darth
bad.
Vader double.
That's
It's
bad.
bullshit.
And he does it to
But
Ben
the end
Menzo.
scene is not bad.
Jehu and I are on the same page.
Yeah, because Attack of the Clones, I'm just going because it's the hardest one to sit through.
Yeah.
I disagree. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones is good. I watched them all.
The middle of it, I can watch the beginning and the end, but I can't. I'll probably never watch the middle of that again in my life.
Yeah.
I would say 1 through 7 are my favorites. The least 3 is Rogue One, Solo, and Last Jedi. Those are my least favorite.
So which one's your least
But
favorite?
I would say I watched Last Jedi. And Last Jedi, I make jokes about the hot girl take. But seriously, the thing I think I hate the most about that movie is the whole bit with Laura Dern, Oscar Isaac, Leia. Like the fact that they're just like in hyperspace, but they're not, and they're still.
I will wholly agree that Poe is the worst.
That
part
whole
of that
concept
movie.
and just like the Mary Poppins scene with Leia. Like it's not fun.
I don't care about that.
I won't take any shit on that because I think that makes as much sense as anything else in Star Wars.
I don't think it looks good. It looks CGI. Like Episode 1 looks as good as Episode 8 to me.
I like Last Jedi, but I think I said this before on the podcast, but I think you could fix everything that's wrong with that movie by changing one thing.
Yeah.
You send Poe after Rey. You come up with some reason why he's got to follow her.
Poe doesn't even know Rey at this point, though.
Well, I'm not a screenwriter, man. Yeah. Somebody else comes up with the reason why. But I'm saying if he's with her, you eliminate the problem that they don't know each other, which is a stupid thing that they don't know each other till the very end of the second act. And you eliminate Finn having to leave. Finn then has to do the Poe stuff. And that shit makes more sense if it's an outsider doing it.
They don't feel like a group. They're 2 movies in, and none of them know each other. None of them are really friends. None of them have really hung out at all.
I will say, I don't think Poe's supposed to. I put this argument on my Facebook. I think thinking Poe is one of the big 3 is not right.
No, I agree with what you said. Adam Driver is still...
Kylo is the big 3.
He's fucking great.
I think the problem with Last Jedi, and you're dead on, everything with Poe doesn't make sense with who Poe is. Poe is supposed to be the ultimate soldier, this great X-Wing pilot. Why then is he immediately disobeying the person he idolizes the most in Leia Organa, and then immediately disobeying the person Leia's like, when I'm not around, listen to her.
I think...
Unless he's a sexist
And the whole thing
pig.
is like this juggernaut. Do we need a bigger ship? There's just things...
Well, first of all, the juggernaut was cool.
I don't like it.
Dreadnought. Timothy Zahn thing.
I don't like any of that whole... That thing should have got cut immediately. I like Cantino Blight more, and like Luke and Rey is great.
Also,
I do like Luke and Rey now.
Was Last Jedi your bottom one?
Last Jedi is my worst one.
Okay, yeah.
But it's scary that the last 3 movies have been my least favorite.
That is interesting.
The last 3.
I would say I've reorganized since watching the prequels, because previously Episode 3 was my worst.
Yeah.
And now rewatching it, it's not that bad. It's just really frustrating again for me. Rogue One is the worst one. It's Rogue One, Last Jedi, and then Episode 3 for me now.
See, I thought you were going to say
Attack of the Clones is better? Both of you think Attack of the Clones is better than Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Yes.
It
is.
I can't.
Last Jedi is negative. It doesn't feel Star Wars.
I can't even comprehend an argument that would allow
it
that to
doesn't
exist.
feel Star Wars. It doesn't.
To add on that, I like the characters that are established, and I like to see that journey continue. I liked having Mark Hamill, but Last Jedi feels like a Star Wars movie made by somebody who hates Star Wars.
I don't get that impression.
Why
at
do
all.
we want to subvert
either.
Luke Skywalker being cool and make him curmudgeony? Like
he's always a whiny bitch.
No, it's
just tell me at what point in the original series does Luke Skywalker ever
Return of the Jedi when he gets up there and saves Han Solo?
He friggin' disobeys Yoda and bails because he's like, my friends are in danger. And Yoda's like, if you go now, bad shit's gonna happen, and that's exactly what happens because he doesn't listen.
I do blame that for why I didn't go to college. That scene does annoy me.
He's always tempted by the dark side. He almost goes to the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. The reason why he cuts himself off in Last Jedi is because he can't quit the dark side.
I will tell you another thing that hurts that movie is that joke to start the movie off does not land, and
the joke is bad.
It hurts the
you,
whole momentum of the movie.
Poe should have died in Force Awakens.
Do you know what Rian Johnson got wrong with Poe? He thought that Poe is Han Solo in these movies, and he's not. Poe is Princess Leia.
I can dig that.
Poe is the rebellion insider.
Finn is
Poe's
Han Solo.
Finn is Han Solo, exactly.
Yeah, I don't see how any line of dialogue in Last Jedi is infinitely better than I hate
that
sand.
Means, I want to be clear, I like The Last Jedi. I think it's a good movie.
I think
it's not.
It's good.
It's not a good movie.
That's
just being real. Taking everything I've said previously out of it. I watched it again. It's not.
Last Jedi is my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie. I think
you're wrong about that one thing.
I think it's the most well-made. I think it's the most well-made. I don't love the decisions, and I really don't like what they do with Poe. But I think the set pieces are great, and I think what you do with Luke and what you do with Rey and what you do with Kylo is better than anything that happened in the prequels. Those 3 knock it out of the park. Everything Ryan gave them was great.
I also think you pissed away Benicio del Toro, and he could have been a way cooler character. I forget he's even in that until I watch it.
How is that different than what happens to Lando?
What do you mean? Lando's coming in the next one, right?
Yeah. 25 years later, Ian.
I'm excited for Lando. I love Lando.
I'm saying-
Oh, you mean in Solo? Oh, you mean in the Solo?
No. In Empire Strikes Back, how
Yeah.
is...
Oh, no. He
it's
wears
the
a cape and he's cool. I like him. Benicio del Toro is
We're
stuttering.
not-
and
anyway.
You waste away Lando Calrissian in Empire Strikes Back, but you do it because Benicio del Toro, and all of a sudden now it's
See,
a
I
thing.
think
Lando's got a better
I'm gonna
part in
I'm
Empire.
gonna go with Ian on this because I think Lando has more of a point because he's Han's friend.
He has a history with
So
Han.
when you find out he's not a good guy or he's done something bad, it hurts. It doesn't hurt when it happens with Benicio. You don't know this guy and you don't really know where he's coming from when it happens.
I mean, he turns on him like 5 minutes in screen time after meeting them.
And he's just
So does Lando.
yeah, but
Lando's
Benicio
got charm.
yeah, exactly. Benicio's sketchy from the start.
Yeah.
But
They know that.
I know. Anyway, it doesn't
Benicio's
matter.
actually never played a character that wasn't Vader's.
That's correct. So that's the worst Star Wars movie. It's whatever you want it to be.
So I guess if you're voting together, then we're going to have, for the official podcast, worst movie is going to be Attack of the Clones.
I mean, I think Attack of the Clones is actually a pretty safe bet. Most people
Yeah, a
consider
lot
it.
of
No,
people.
I mean,
I bet you last year I would
I
win
was
that
going
poll.
to try to go more interesting and say Rogue One, but I just, it's the hardest one to watch.
Yeah, it's
You know?
terrible. Even 15 years ago when people were shitting on Phantom Menace, most of the people in an actual conversation like this would be like, honestly, I like Phantom Menace. I hate Attack of the Clones, but don't tell anybody that.
Right.
Like, everyone's hated
I
Attack of
also
the
don't
Clones
get
for
the
years.
mirror scene with Rey seeing a bunch of herself.
Is it different than when Luke cuts off Darth Vader's vest?
I'm saying it goes over my head. I don't get it. I'm not smart enough to understand it.
People shit on things that I'm like, there's already a precedent for this stuff in Star Wars. It doesn't shit on Star Wars people says.
And it's a weird thing for people to get pissed about because it's probably the only moment in the movie that really tries to call back to something in Star Wars.
It's a Force cave scene.
Yeah.
And to take that back to our prequels talk, just because I wanted to mention it, one of the things that I appreciated going through all three of the movies as a whole is I feel like in general Lucas just took a big swing. He took it there are a lot of things that he throws out into this Star Wars universe. Not everything lands. A lot of it does, I think. But I don't know. I appreciated that more now that we're coming back to the new sequels that are also kind of like rebooty kind of storylines that. Yeah, I don't know. You took a different direction. I understand a lot of it is inspired by like the expanded universe that existed at that point, but
It's definitely clear from the prequels that Lucas is a visual guy.
Yes.
He never read a Penthouse letter.
He had some
only
good
looked at
ass
the pictures.
storyboards for those movies.
what a
We
thing
got to
to-
get to what we've
what
been
a
watching.
what a thing to say about a guy.
But
Yeah, we gotta go.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he puts a lot of effort into the locales and the looks of those movies.
Yeah.
For sure. And the toys. But yeah, I think that's it for the Star Wars prequels. I hope that this is listenable.
I think this is fun.
You know what I love?
Wait,
is
add us
when
for your
I,
worst
when I
movie.
looked at this thing where you covered all prequels as a concept.
Yeah.
It was 52 minutes.
Yeah.
This I'm betting is like an hour and 52 minutes.
Oh,
It's like an hour and a half.
I also noticed after I did so I was scrolling back, and when it was just you three guys, it was like 50, 52,
Yeah.
57. Then I joined 125.
I mean, we literally have an extra voice.
Yeah,
you're
that's gonna
33% more. But yeah, so that's it for the Star Wars prequels. Draw your own conclusions. But if, I don't think episode 2
Go
is as
back
bad
to
as we
them.
think. Yeah,
They're fun.
really, do go back to them.
yeah.
They're all better than Transformers, and I watch all of them multiple times every
Yeah.
year.
I was watching with my dad today, and he hadn't seen them in like 20 years, and he was pleasantly surprised.
That's mathematically impossible.
You know
but,
what I mean? Long time.
I mean, it's not impossible for
One of them.
for one of them.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what have we been watching this past week, guys?
I can start. I started playing Jedi Fallen Order. Speaking of Star Wars shit, fun game. I like it. It's very cool in the connective tissue it has through all of it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a really, really cool Force Awakens tie-in that I really dug. That has been heavily speculated, and this confirms, which I thought was dope. I watched Rogue One and Force Awakens, and I fucking hated Rogue One, and I fucking loved Force Awakens. I don't know what it was about this time, but I just really, really, really loved it. What else? I watched Six Underground, which is the worst movie of the year. It's worse than Transformers, and it's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. It is god awful.
I know. It looks so generic. It's so generic, I don't even think I'll watch it.
It is terrible. Someone said it's unfiltered Michael Bay. It's utter Bayham, and that is very true. It is awful. I think I watched I watched the first 5 episodes of Watchmen. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with that show.
Good.
Yeah. But do you enjoy not knowing what's going on?
Yes and no. I'm dying to know what is going on. I'm also getting pissed off at how little I know.
Give it like 2 more episodes.
I think the next episode you'll start really seeing
I can't
some
remember
shit.
what the order is, so yeah.
I'm sure there's something else and I don't remember, but yeah, that's it.
That's fair.
I watched a bunch of Star Wars, which we talked about. I'm kind of Star Wars'd out. I watched Jumanji 2,
Yeah.
which is fucking funny. It's better than the first Jumanji.
A week ago, you just shat on it without seeing it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I had low expectations. Kevin Hart is doing Danny Glover, and he fucking nails him.
Huh.
Like this slow old person draw the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it fucking is. It's pretty funny.
See, I'm
Rock
interested
totally-
in it just for that because I really like Danny Glover.
It's hilarious. The Rock steals the movie. The Rock does not nail Danny DeVito at all. The Rock's kind of a letdown in the movie.
Sure.
But it's not as generic as the trailers make it seem.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I would say definitely better than Transformers, and it's probably my favorite Jumanji.
Wow.
I liked it a lot.
What a thing to say.
I like Robin Williams' Jumanji too. I like all of them. Yeah, I think that's all I've watched.
Cool.
Yeah, I watched about 2 Star Wars movies, but we already talked about that.
Yeah. I watched Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good.
It's great. Yeah.
It's actually, I mean, it is sad, but it wasn't like I expected it to be a little bit more emotionally manipulative than it actually was. But actually, I don't feel like it was. It was pretty like you're seeing both of these people's perspectives, and I felt very like outside of it, like just kind of like an impartial observer, and I feel like that made me less. I mean, I was emotionally invested, but I wasn't feeling the same things that they're feeling. But it's really, really good, really well written, really, really well acted. I highly recommend it, but it's a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
And the other thing I forgot to mention last week is that the wife and I started watching Schitt's Creek, and we are on season 2.
Great.
I can't decide how I feel about it. It's good.
I think you're about to really get to the good parts.
I'm in.
One, I don't think is all that great.
I'm invested in the characters, but I find that like I'm more invested than I am laughing. If that makes sense. Like it's
I think it's one of those things that in the second season and the third season, the jokes land.
The
more.
third season is the best. In my
okay.
opinion.
So we're getting there. But yeah, no, I mean we enjoyed it enough to keep going on it. So
David is my spirit animal. I fucking love David.
David's my favorite part. Okay. Why have we stopped ending on me? Because I'm the most likely to go off the rails.
I do it specifically to torture you.
Okay,
and our listeners.
I watched. I've been doing a watch through of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I finally got to the last episode. All good things. Man, it is a great final episode, particularly for what they had to accomplish, which was that it wasn't really ending because they were already filming a movie. So it had to be an ending for a show that didn't actually end it. And it does a great fucking job of that. And really, honestly, since it's not very continuity heavy, it could be the first episode you watch of it because you get good character moments for all of the cast, and it's just really good. I highly recommend it. You know, not that we haven't talked enough about it already, but I watched some Star Wars. I watched the Force Awakens, and the main thing I was thinking about while watching Force Awakens is you know, this whole Martin Scorsese and the "this is not cinema" thing. That, you know, have you heard that he's having a meeting now?
Yeah.
So this is just viral marketing now.
Yeah.
This is just a shtick that they're both realize they're getting heat out of. But what it made me think of in relation to that is how this is so much a seeing in the theater movie. I mean, not that it's not fun to watch at home, but there's just specific beats that are definitely for watching in a theater with a crowd. And the one I always reference the most is when Han Solo first enters. He enters, and then there's a space so the crowd can pop, and then he delivers the line, and there's a little bit. It's just really well executed. And, you know, cinema can be like just fun. It can be like a fun thing where everybody isn't challenged, but they're all watching the same thing at the same time and feeling the same emotion.
Yep. This is one of the movies I watched, and man, when Rey gets in that Millennium Falcon for the first time, all the goosebumps, man.
When Kylo catches the blaster right off the bat.
And also, dude, when Kylo has his little panic attack, kind of like,
down.
you know, like, oh, it's so good. He's so good in that scene right there.
Watching this again really has got me excited for watching the new one because I really liked what J.J. Abrams did for this. I think this is one of those things that people decided they were too cool for later. It's like, oh, it just does the same thing as A New Hope. But I think there's a value in redoing something every generation. You know, you're going to have new techniques, you're going to have new actors, you're going to have new directors, you're going to have new technology, you know, you're going to have a new way of speaking. Like, there's a value in redoing something, you know, and seeing what a new generation would do with it. So I like that it's just the same story beats as A New Hope.
Yeah.
BB-8's great in that movie. I love that movie.
That leads me to the last thing I'm going to talk about, which is I read Superman 18. I haven't talked about a comic book in a while, but Superman 18 is the issue where Brian Michael Bendis has Superman out himself to the world.
Yeah.
Can I just groan for 4 minutes? Is that content?
I mean, it's a little late in it, but if you want to.
Man, it's just the thing I was just talking about, how there's value of redoing a thing every once in a while. This had just been done 4 years ago. And so the way comic book stories run now, that means that there's been roughly 24 Superman stories since the last time his secret identity was revealed. And so some of those stories were dealing with that. Some of those stories were putting it back in the box. And actually, they just got rid of the last element of that last outing 3 issues ago. So it's just so stupid that they're doing this again. And it's not a different generation doing it. It's a guy who is a peer of Brian Michael Bendis, did it the last time. And now he's just doing it. It was just, and it's not well executed at all. It's just, Bendis has this thing where he'll say, like, he's like, hey man, I'm going to reveal in this storyline that Spider-Man likes to eat Cocoa Puffs and why. And then the whole first issue will be just getting to Spider-Man taking a bite of Cocoa Puffs. And, you know, it's like, well, you already told me that was going to happen. Why did I have to read a whole fucking issues for that? And this was definitely that, although it was 2 issues. You're 2 issues in before he even does the reveal, and it was awful. I'm probably done with Superman for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's tough for you.
I mean, Brian Michael Bendis used to be...
you took it a turn on him.
Well, I mean, that guy has a place in comic history. There's an argument for he helped save comics after the big bust of the late 90s. But that guy is gone, man. Yeah. And when he came over to DC, it felt fresh for a few minutes. He came in and he did like some cool adventure stories on Superman. And I will say this, he did a Batman story called Batman Universe, which is the best Batman story in 5 years. So it's not that he still can't do it. It's just he's going for Twitter likes more than he's going for making a good story.
Did the last issue of Doomsday Clock come out, or is that this week?
That is this week.
Oh, okay. Also, I'm sure Hurt and I both watched the last episode of Watchmen.
Yeah.
I want to do an episode on Watchmen.
I didn't bring it up because I figured we were saving it.
I'm sure we all watch Mandalorian, too.
But it's worth watching.
We haven't
talked about Mandalorian. That was a good episode of The Mandalorian.
It was like a slasher movie.
A ton of famous people.
Yeah.
Bill Burr, Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown, who's always fucking great.
I like Bill Burr's third gun.
That
was cool.
I like that Stormtroopers having shitty shots is now canon.
Yep.
And that girl, the Twilight girl, is
Tonks.
Tonks from Harry Potter.
She was not good.
No,
but
it felt a little cheap, but it was a good episode.
She was the same as what's her name, Osha or whatever in Game of Thrones. It felt very samey.
Yeah, it was very much that same. Also, it seemed like she had like, oh wow, you know, the kids like Harley Quinn. I'll just be Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it was
we're also going to rescue Twilight Joker.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
God, that show is good.
The show is really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's it for this week. Next week, it's Star Wars again. With the
new Star Wars for us.
Yeah, it's
Ian's 4th least favorite Star Wars movie.
I hope not.
I cannot remember the name of this movie.
Rise of the Skywalker.
So let me ask you this: if this one pulls it off, do you think that raises your opinion of Last Jedi?
Probably.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yep,
I'm not closing my head off to it.
So join us next week
stick it.
for some hot takes next week.
That'll be a good episode
on the
next
last of the Skywalker saga.
And hopefully, when we do this, a little over a year after it, we'll do it again.
Yep. So thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends about the podcast. If you want to get in touch with us and tell us your favorite prequel episode, or just your least favorite Star Wars movie. I'd love to know, honestly.
Or if you just enjoyed hearing us yell about the same shit we always yell about.
I mean, I assume that's why you do this on a weekly basis. But you can reach us at realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies, and on Instagram at real_phonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.